Hey everyone, welcome back. As always, I'm Sum.
And I'm Koaty, and this is Koaty Sum, and we are the duo who does more than each other.
So do you want to open your White Claw?
I was going to do it when you're like, let's cheers White Claw.
Okay, I was when you open
because I wanted to hear the like ASMR.
Cheers.
Ooh, both peaching it out today.
Right. I love
like
your peach.
peaches.
I like your peach.
I like male peaches.
I'm drooling. So as always in House of Heat fashion, we are drinking White Claw today like we did almost every day on the show.
Yeah.
That's why you see it getting a little wild. But we're back to recap episode 4. And this was a big episode for us.
This is where we start, kind of opening up a little bit, I guess, or showing our opinion on what's actually happening.
I think we became more opinionated this episode.
Before, we've just been sitting back and kind of like figuring out whose side we are on.
We were observing.
Because in my opinion, there were a lot of people on both sides making missteps. And, I was waiting to figure out who made the most kind of.
And we were working a lot those first 2 weeks. Like we came in thinking like, hey, we want to show the world how hard, like what we do for work. And so we were so focused on that we were like, do we want to focus on all this petty stuff? And then we finally just got so fed up that we're like, screw it. It's time to get involved.
I'll tell you what, and they're not even showing how much we're working. And I will tell you, next season, I will be not working as much and I will be in everyone's business. Everyone's.
So
what's going on? What are you doing? Who said that?
Yeah. So speaking of being in everyone's business, let's talk about what's happens first. They show, Brandon and Jade go on a hike. And this is where you kind of see Brandon's personality of he really tries to mediate between people. Like he likes in a caring way, but I think you'll see it gets him into trouble multiple times. So he goes on a hike and he tries to ask about the situation and ask about how she feels. I don't know. What do you think?
Everything Jade said wasn't anything of substance. It didn't really answer any questions. It didn't really give any info. It was just pretty much giving a synopsis on what's happening and not really how to move forward or her opinion like on it as a whole. Just being like, well, I like Chase. And that was it. Where Brandon, I actually didn't realize how much disgust he had for Chase from the night before in that moment. Because we weren't there. We didn't live that. Yeah. We saw it when everyone else saw it. So
yeah, because this was like the next day.
That was interesting. The one thing I do love about Brandon is he's so articulate and, whereas Jade, you're confused on what side or what she's saying.
Everything she says is so confusing.
Yeah, it's so confusing. It's like she's like the Riddler.
Yeah.
And Brandon's just direct to the point, doesn't dance around feelings. So I do appreciate that. So that's this part of that little scene that I did for sure.
I will agree. I think Brandon articulates himself very well. That's something I noticed from him throughout filming with him or interacting with him, that one is funny. I love watching his confessionals.
His confessionals, and I die for.
And when he articulates how he feels or whatnot, he does make sense and he creates a safe space for an open discussion. But I think some people use that as a manipulation tactic and turn it against him. I think that's kind of what happens.
He portrayed my advice for him is he portrayed himself as Switzerland. And instead of announcing it and showing everyone that you're Switzerland, just be Switzerland. Don't tell people it, because once they know you're that, they're going to use you to manipulate you for what they want. And that's kind of, I feel like, what is starting to happen with some of the people.
That same morning, Chase comes home and I decide to confront him in the kitchen. I mean, I wouldn't even call it a confrontation. I just wanted to chat with him.
I wouldn't call that a confrontation.
No, I just wanted to see, hey man, how do you feel? And those are your friends. We're your new housemates. Were you wanting us to all get along? Do you what do you think about the situation? You know them better than we do. That situation was really weird. Can we talk about it? And he just really shut down. But then on top of that, Ava, in Ava fashion, just comes in and completely interrupts me.
Yeah,
with her opinion.
I feel like you had a whole kind of spiel or conversation.
I was just getting started. It was 30 seconds in.
Yeah, and she did, kind of cut you off and kind of it's like turning the light on in a cockroach and runs off, kind of like end your opportunity to have an adult conversation with him in that moment.
Yeah.
Which
I should have told Ava to
annoying.
shut the hell up
But
and get out of the room.
But also he just was so standoffish and so like, it was just like, I don't know. I don't care.
Oh,
blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah. He creates such a weird energy. It's one, so awkward, and I cannot think of any other time I've tried to have a discussion with someone that I felt that anxious because of the energy he was giving off.
He was literally just dismissing everything you're saying.
Yeah.
It was
just
really
I don't
annoying.
know. I don't care. It was childish, because I came from a place of, this is not aggressive at all. This is just like, hey, what happened last night? Let's talk about it. Like, let's move on.
And his whole stance is, I'm here, I'm mature, I make more money than everyone, I'm like a boss. But literally, girl, you are the one running off to producers and tattletaling. You're the one calling your manager. You're the one leaving the house. Like what do you think someone's gonna do to you? Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
You are being the biggest bratty, spoiled baby I've ever seen in my whole entire life, and it is showing, and it's disgusting.
It was like you don't see me making calls every time there's a little bit of conflict.
Calling a manager who's literally like 10 years younger than me.
Then they invite Fosh to this cooking show, which again,
they invited Fosh to this cooking show because they didn't show, but the night before, all of the rest of us went out to the bar and had a great time. And she was with us, and it was literally all of us without him again, per usual, and without him and Jade per usual. And for some reason, they're like, "Oh, let's pick the one person that we maybe can manipulate."
They wanted to manipulate her.
Yeah,
they really did. Like they took Brandon's roommate.
Yeah, Brandon's roommate.
Like this was a malicious. Thought out thing, calculated thing.
It really annoyed me too because, like, one, I didn't care. Actually, I woke up because we were drinking the night before. I woke up and was like, wow, she got up that early.
I didn't know that she had gone until she came back.
She got up that early after our night out, and she did that. I was like, that's all I thought about.
Yeah.
And Brandon was kind of like, pointing a finger at me like, why would you go with them kind of thing. But I don't even think it was to a bad extent. I think he just kind of wanted to pick her brain about it, which I understand.
Yeah, just friend to friend.
But like, I didn't care. But the thing that I'm annoyed with is like, at that point, they don't really show it. Me and Fosh had started becoming very close. And like, as you'll see in the episode, she does like snap at me a little like, I'm talking, which I do talk over people all the time. Whatever. It's something I'm working on. I am who I am. Off. But
she did single you out though in that moment in the bathroom.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, twice.
So, and it was annoying because it was like this whole stupid little situation now. Like, it's supposed to just between Chase and Ava and Jade or whatever. It is now starting to affect our life and our life in the house.
Yeah.
So this is the point where we're about fed up. This is where I'm getting over him and his childish acts.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're bringing people that you like. Just because you call someone a manager doesn't mean that they are the most professional person in the world. That guy looks ridiculous to me. Like the way he dresses, the way, I don't even know.
Also, too, you got Fosh and Jade at this cook-off or whatever you want to call it. They're making Philly cheesesteaks. Chase's was burnt, and for some reason he wins. I think that's just his friend trying to like kiss up to him. But like, why are Fosh and Jade even there? They're not judging the show. They're not participating in the show.
Or cheese.
She doesn't eat meat or cheese. There's no reason for them to be there.
Also,
other than they just wanted to manipulate Fosh and talk trash. And that's what they did.
They didn't put this in the episode, but I had a whole conversation, which Fosh was agreeing and laughing with me about, is that like they had a cook-off about Philly cheesesteaks. The one person in that house who is from Philadelphia and eats Philly cheesesteaks all the damn time is me.
Yeah. So why did they invite Fosh? Why did they invite Fosh?
Why wasn't I invited? That's the question. And that stupid Chris kid who swoop bang, as Brandon called him.
Swoop bang.
Who gave him the authority to judge a Philly cheesesteak? I bet those Philly cheesesteaks sucked. ass. I don't.
Chase's was burnt.
I don't. Either of those people are even from the East Coast. Get out of here with that.
So then you got our discussion in the bathroom, and this is where Fosh really started to. She had already kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I think she was really standoffish for the first little bit, and then hearing her in the bathroom snap at Brandon and snap at you over something that I don't think warranted snapping. I do think the way she snapped at Brandon for just being inquisitive was uncalled for, and I think this is where you start to see that I think Fosh is losing her mind a little bit. I think she's a little bit manic.
Living in the moment, living the moment, and then watching the moment. You know, even the one day when she's like, I had to get loud with Koaty. When I didn't really think she was fighting. She just told me to stop talking over her, which is fine. The thing is I was watching how we were all talking to her, and we were just inquisitive about her day and what they were thinking about the situation. Yeah. And
no one was saying you're a bad friend.
Yeah, it really, the communication in that conversation was really thrown around.
Her delusion really came out.
Yeah, it was delusional for sure, because none of us were in there like to yell at her about going or mad at her that she went. We were literally just like, oh, so you're like went with she even said the others. Yeah. And I was like, yeah. That's why I was like, wait. We want to know just how was your morning? Remember? Yeah. I was like, how was your morning?
Like, watching it back, it pissed me off how she talked to you on.
Yeah, because we weren't mad at Brandon for going with Jade.
No. And I was exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's like we can talk about it, but we're not coming for you. And I feel like she really acted like we were coming for her, and watching it back, none of us did that.
I feel like the only reason to act like that is like as soon as the conversation was brought up, I feel like maybe she was feeling some sort of guilt. Yeah. And so she, before anybody even asked her questions or she knew what the conversation was going to be about, she already had so much guilt that she already was getting defensive and snapping back. Which, you know what? I know that's what happened because I do that too.
But then we did end the discussion in a group hug. I will say that. I don't know if they showed that.
They show it in the trailer. Yeah, but we ended the discussion in a group hug. Yeah, it was a group hug.
But that is where Steph decides we should have a meeting. You know, so we decide like let's have a first house meeting where we all come and we just squash
a family meeting. I don't think we've ever been a family.
And we had a group at the time, a group chat called Orgy Chat. And that's where you see the next day people start to leave this chat. Oh, so Chase leaves the chat, Jade leaves the chat.
Fosh left the chat. And then I go, this orgy's turning into a force. So.
That was funny.
Finally, some of my jokes getting put in there.
But this is again with Jade talking in circles. She says, don't pick a fight and then call a meeting to squash it. I'm like, but that's what you do. You had a fight. Now let's schedule it. Let's talk about it and resolve it.
But also,
like she talks in circles.
No, but she's an idiot because Steph is the one who called the meeting and Steph isn't the one who picked the fight.
That's true. So very that.
Beautiful girl, but just kind of not all there.
So, and then again, Fosh, I know you guys were getting close at this time, but the delusion right here that she just leaves the group chat when no one's done anything to her, and this is us saying let's have a house meeting and resolve it, and then she comes in, she's does her whole spiel in the kitchen. Yeah. Like, I just watching it back, I'm like,
out of context.
It's out of context.
It's really out of context.
Like, I'm like, what is going on in your brain that you're just like, oh, I like you need to leave the group chat.
She was creating a whole
creating a narrative
scenario of drama in her head that nobody else was following.
Nobody was following.
It was when she stepped out of the group chat, our jaws dropped.
And then walked right into the kitchen to hang out with us.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Like Chase and Jade, they leave the group chat and then they stay away. Like you left the group chat and then came and hung out with us in the kitchen like nothing had happened.
And she was like, I don't want to. Like, I'm not here to fight with people or talk about people.
That's not what we're doing.
You barely leave your room. We're not talking about anyone to you.
Yeah.
Honestly, we can barely even get a word out of you at this point.
So, then Koaty and I had some work to do.
But again, I will say, I was really affected by this because at this point, which isn't shown, is I was barely bonding with her.
So and I was not.
You weren't.
I was not.
But I was just like, damn, like I actually was like, Fosh is becoming one of my closest friends at one second.
You were being delusional too.
I guess so.
So Then fast forward to the meeting. Koaty and I, we had done another live and had a few White Claws. Here, let's have another sip.
Well, let's talk about.
Oh, did we miss something? Oh, wait. Yes, let's talk about the trophy. Let's talk about the trophy. The trophy. This fake ass trophy.
Ava did throw it in the trash too, but then she got it out and hid it.
So Ava has on good accord from her sources that they make these trophies for like kind of anyone and everyone, and that the trophy is fake and that he only makes $5,000 a month on his OF, and he only has a net worth of $500,000. So
yeah,
I would say that he's lying if all of that is correct. But that's just like Ava's sources. So
yeah. One, Unruly, I don't think just manages his OnlyFans. I think that's managing all of his stuff. So that's not just 4 million, even if that number is right, 3 million or whatever. It's not based just off of your OnlyFans. It's everything they're doing for you, number one. And it's not a trophy you get per year, from what I hear. It's over time. Like, you could be with them for 10 years and then finally get your $3 million trophy.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's all lies. It doesn't make any sense. And, you know, he's best buddies with his manager who works there. Like, that man can pull any trophy out of the closet he wants to give to him.
Yeah, the fact that he had to bring the trophy to the house just shows like what a little man he is.
Well, even like Steph
and how
said,
big his ego is. Like, that was, what did Steph say?
Steph's like, no one's going to be impressed by your trophy.
And no one was impressed by your trophy.
Girl,
no one was impressed by your trophy.
Not once.
Actually, maybe Fosh was.
Not once have we bragged about how much we make on OnlyFans or anywhere.
Because if you're making money like that, like he says he is, then you don't need to brag about it.
Yeah.
Like, you let the work and the content and everything speak for itself.
Yes.
So I think it's hilarious that Ava hit it. She did throw it in the trash at one point, and then she hit it again, and she just put it in the closet, and then he throws a temper tantrum.
Calls his manager, another babe,
complaining
like
to production, being like, I'm out of here, like, blah, blah, blah.
Sorry, but I'm like, don't put your personal belongings in common space.
You left it in the kitchen.
Put it in your room.
You left it in the kitchen to flex. If you, like, bring the trophy and put it in your room and let it speak for itself. Let people come into your room and see it. But you left it in the kitchen because you wanted everyone to be like, oh, what is this? Yeah. You know, then he has in the car, he's like, oh, I like Sumner and Koaty. Like, I want to show them how to make money. We don't need that.
We don't need you. I'm the one person in the house who knows how to make money. Bitch, I am 36 years old. I've been doing this for a long time. I've made well over both those trophy values. And I'm not sitting here showing you some goddamn certificate about it. I also don't need, I'm not going to be nice to you because I need you to make me money. That's not why I'm here.
Money. We're making our own money.
I'm here to learn about how to make my business better for myself. And from what I know, nothing you are doing, I'm doing way more and way better shit than you are doing on your OnlyFans. Yeah. Like, from that stupid rose in the butt crap. If anybody bought that photo, which he probably didn't even sell, if someone bought that, you need your mind checked. Like, you need something checked.
Speaking of that, I watching that back a couple more times. I'm like, you were so like, you have a crush on Nate because he literally just manhandled you to lay on that fireplace and put a rose in your butt cheeks.
Apparently,
like, you just were like, okay, I'll do it.
Apparently, those two have recently both come out as bi. Weird.
Oh yeah, weird. Right when their episode airs.
Right when their episode airs, and you use your gay following to get money, and it's Pride Month. Yeah. Wow, the timing of this is impeccable.
It's just so convenient.
Yeah,
it makes so much sense.
So,
I believe it.
Oh my God, I believe it too. I believe everything they do.
Well, Nate, your dinner's ready.
Nate, your dinner is you can't afford it now. So
nope. All right, so we got the meeting, the house meeting, and Koaty and I at this point we're just like fed up. We're fed up. People have been leaving the group chat.
We've had a few drinks.
We'd done another live, and so we'd gotten a little tipsy.
Yeah.
And then you got Steph just politely asking everyone to sit on one side so we can all, just be here as a unit, one. And I just snap at that point.
Jade and Chase come out with their hoods up. I saw a screen grab of like the shot of him sitting there,
Yeah.
he looked like the devil.
He looked like the devil.
He literally looked like the goddamn devil.
Like this.
Yeah. Why can't you just
I can't even do it.
Why can't you just go sit where they asked you to sit?
Yeah. He just wanted to be a child. Child. So I say make me. I say, sit where she asked you to sit. He says make me. And so, you saw everything that happened.
What they did not show. What they did not show.
They didn't show.
Is the second time you get up, he gets in because I make my little spiel about how he's lumping us all together. Because of Ava. And he said, like, I never said ill will. I was like, I never said that you said that. Let me finish what I'm talking about. Then he gets in my face, and I actually said, get out of my space. And he, like, spit on me. Well, not on purpose, but it was like, I will stay in your face if I want to. And I was like, oh, okay. And that's where Sumner, eventually gets up again.
I think that's the third time I get up, and then they have to push me to they don't show I have to be pushed to the other side of the room.
Yeah,
and I'm like behind. That's where I hit my leg. They show afterwards in the bedroom. I hit my leg on the table that third time when they were trying to hold me back because of what he was doing to you, getting in your face. So I really don't know what came over me that night. He
don't get in your man's face.
But for me, it was a win-win situation. It's like, hey, if you actually do get physical with me, you're gonna leave, and whatever. If I stand up and you do nothing, I feel like I still win.
You can
I don't know. It was a win-win situation for me.
Closely to like all the yelling, they have your mic and his mic on higher. But you can hear me and Jade yelling at each other because I'm like yelling at her because she's right behind me just yapping. And it's just like justifying violence. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Yeah. You've known this man 5 days and I'm with somebody for 5 years and you think it's okay to support like that sort of violence? Like it was disgusting to me, honestly. And honestly, it's why I like grew a disgust for Jade a little bit after that, which you will see in future episodes.
Like at this point,
this was my aha moment with not liking Jade.
Yeah,
for sure. And it just was.
I mean, we don't want to speak for future episodes. We'll see how things evolve. We'll see how things evolve.
Yeah, Ava, Vinny, Steph, like Fosh, they all were very quiet, which was surprising. We kind of took the role there, but you know what? It's fine. It was kind of Koaty, Sumner versus.
I mean, what did you think when I first stood up? Because that was not like me.
I mean, I wasn't ready for it because I would have tried to stop you because the second time I was ready, you saw me stop you.
Yeah.
But that first time you ran right past me and I was like, oh God. But I mean, it was insane. It was an insane moment.
Do you think I would have won?
I think Brandon.
I think
this is where Brandon is showed to be a little bit of flip flopper because earlier in the episode,
I hated that he sat there and apologized to that man. That you did not owe that man an apology at all.
Because earlier in the episode, he's like, "I don't need to resolve this. I don't even want to resolve this. I won't accept an apology." Like saying all that, and I was just like, "Why are you doing that? Like that's not how you feel. Don't do that."
Yeah, exactly.
But I know he is a peacemaker, and so I understand the kind of.
You and I were just. I was just done. I was done.
He's like, he did his whole thing and real nice, and he said, "Who's next?" And I was pretty like, "Me."
Yeah. So I think something they don't show enough is I was so fed up with how he was treating certain people behind the scenes. I was so fed up with how he was treating Ava. Like at that point, I had 100% bonded with Ava, and I was upset with how he was treating Steph because Steph and us had gotten really close. Yeah. So at that point, I was sticking up for like us and all the women that he had been disrespecting. That's what was like, I just had gotten so fed up at that point. And whatever, like if I don't know if I would have won that fight or not, but if I had lost, he would have still been out.
I went to this podcast launch. This woman it's a girl and she does like women in sports, but also talks about a lot about boxing. And I brought up Chase and she's like, oh, he's a Misfits. He's like, Misfits boxing isn't very good.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, he's not very good.
He's lost pretty much all of his fights from what I hear. So
yeah, he only showed like one video to us that he won, and Ava went and looked and she's like, oh, every single other one he lost.
Yeah. They show that you weren't happy with the situation at the end. And they show me, I was looking at my legs. I realized I had hit it on the table the last time when I was getting, at him for coming for you.
As much as I was like, oh my God, that was so hot. My man's amazing to protect me and all these people. but like, you know, there's also,
I think it was mixed emotions for
yeah,
you.
I want to stay true to like that because I was in experiences like that where I was physically attacked by someone and, you know, it's not very good afterwards. So.
Your yelling, raspy voice, though, was really hot. Watching it back was hot, too.
So
So
do it again.
Yeah, so that was, I guess that's how the episode ends, right?
That's how the episode ends.
So-
you know, we can't spoil what happens next.
All
Still
right.
love us because we love you. So.
All right, we'll be back next week with episode 5.